Macheski here. Part of my week 2 InspirAction challenge is to break through and change my thoughts about money. So we are to write a letter to money as if it were a person and explain our feelings and our desire to make amends for the negative feelings and beliefs that we've had. So, this is my letter. Dear Money, there has come the time to clear the air and understand that our relationship must change. In order for me to grow and live in abundance, I must apologize and ask forgiveness for the way I have treated you for most of my life. When I was very young, I do not remember hearing anything negative about you or having bad thoughts about you. The first time I began to not trust you that I can recall is when I was about 10 years old. We lived in a large house on Sheridan Road across the street from Lighthouse Beach. It was a great house and had a huge slate-floored screen porch where we hung out when we were not at the beach during the summer. It was late one night. I woke up to my parents arguing about money and my mom was crying. That is the point where I began to lose faith in you and question your goodness. My mom was crying, so you must have heard her. My parents did not fight or argue in front of us. This was really impressive in a negative way, that money could cause this chaos. Through junior high and high school, we lived a block west of the lake in an old mansion that had been totally modernized and decorated to be the house for the president of Northwestern. No one talked about money. Money was a taboo subject, according to my mom. It was something to keep quiet and not discuss. We got an allowance each month to pay for school lunches or whatever else we needed. We were not allowed to ask for any more. The amount was never discussed. There were no jobs we had to do to earn it. It just appeared on the kitchen cabinet shelf each month. So now I began to feel that you are also secretive. I was building ideas about you based upon my parents' fears of scarcity and privacy. I know this is not healthy, but then it was what I was taught. I was not taught how to use you happily and joyously. I was not developing positive feelings for you, and I apologize for that. When I was in high school during the Vietnam War, the establishment and you were the enemy. Society was having me believe that all evil was associated with having a lot of you. My family was therefore bad. I blamed you as the cause of my having a bad family. My father was the establishment. He was very powerful across the country and even was in a secret club in California for only a select few. Again, I believe that you were the cause of the secrecy. In order to fit into groups of my peers, I thought I needed to believe you only hurt people and did not help people. I was angry with you because so much was needing to be fixed in the world, and the people who had you could not be trusted. You were elusive. There was a family that was very close with us who had to move away because of you. I believed it was your fault that my best friend was gone because his dad needed a job. I only had a few friends ever come over to my house. It was so beautiful and cool. It even had an elevator right in the middle, and it had an indoor-outdoor swimming pool. I got to choose how my room was decorated before we moved in, and I loved it. But I was also ashamed of it. I was ashamed of the amount of money it represented. Society was yelling about the establishment, and my house screamed of it. I would deny you existed in my life to myself and my friends to fit in. I continued to hear my mom's distress about you. It got really bad when her dad died. He was the best grandpa ever. We called him Pop. He had been a Major League Baseball player and he loved me. My mom was very close to him growing up. She would go with him to the practice field and hang out with Babe Ruth. Baseball players didn't make the money like they do now, but I know she didn't want for anything growing up. When he died, Mom's mother moved in. Meanest lady ever. She could freeze your bones with one stare, and she was as tight as Dick's hatband. She always gave us dime store Christmas gifts. I don't think any of us 5 kids ever cost her more than $10. And they were always gifts we would never choose. So again, I saw that you were elusive and not caring because you could disappear so easily. I spent most of my life denouncing you and denying the fact that I actually loved you and enjoyed spending time with you. It was so much fun to take you shopping and buy cool stuff to put in my room. I loved the beginning of the school year when my siblings and I got to go with you to get school clothes and shoes. We had lots of fun. Then we had to go home and model the gifts that you gave us in front of our dad so he could approve of you. Mostly he said, uh-huh. It did not create happiness for him to give you to us. It took the joy of you away. So now I added sadness to my thoughts about you that were not fair and not your fault. Please forgive me. I wanted to love you, but I didn't know how. So these thoughts about you, sadness, scarcity, secretiveness, distrust, and not being good, embarrassing, judgment dominating, my behavior and thoughts about you. I understand now that it was not your true energy. You are a joy, a source of laughter, a gift to share, an energy worth all my gratitude. I got married to another person that didn't trust you. He was consumed with worry over you. He was sure that if he didn't covet you and hide you, none of us would be safe. I learned to be jealous of you. He spent more time with you and thinking of you than myself and his children. My children would leave him notes about things they needed or wanted so that they wouldn't have to face the third-degree judgmental questions. I had to take a lump sum out of my paycheck every month so that I could spend time with you and playing with you however I wanted. Giving you away made me feel so good. It still does. I get the biggest thrill and burst of happiness when I do unexpected things with you for those I love. I was wrong to blame you for other people's behaviors and misconceptions. I want to love you openly and honestly starting right now. I want you to feel loved and appreciated for all the joy and happiness you bring to me and everyone you touch. Please accept this apology. It has taken me a very long time to let the negativity go. But deep in my heart, I always loved you, needed you, and knew I couldn't live without you. Please forgive me and enter my life again, and I promise you I will respect, care for, and love you every moment for the rest of my life. And please forgive my children who are confused about money because of me. I want them to experience your positive, charitable, and peaceful energy that you are. Love, Ellen.